Hi everybody, I'm Kelly, an American mom and wife living in central Denmark, middle of the peninsula, in a small town. And I've been here almost 8 years. We're coming up on our 8-year anniversary, but my life has had a lot of ups and downs since moving to Denmark. And I want to tell you about the year I went off social media, went off YouTube, went off everything. Where was I? What was going on? And how has that changed my outlook on life in Denmark? Stay tuned. Hi everybody, if you're new to my channel, or if you haven't been watching my videos for a while because I haven't been on here, let's reintroduce myself. My name is Kelly. I have been living in Denmark since March of 2016. I live in the same small town that I did when I first moved here. Not a whole lot has changed location-wise. My little boys are now big boys, and it's crazy to see, just how comfortable we are with life in Denmark. But we kind of had to, and when I say we, I really just mean me. In order to get to where I am right now in Denmark, mentally, with my outlook on life, I had to kind of go through some things. And it's not to say that you're only going to enjoy your experience abroad if you go through struggles. But for me, I really had to hit a rock bottom before I could kind of start anew. And that for me was in 2022, 2023. But by the end of 2022, I'd say the fall, things were really going downhill for me mentally. And my relationships with people were poor. My, marriage was not the happiest. I just was not feeling good. And I knew that I needed to change that. I needed to get out of that mindset. And I knew that it was me that was the reason why I was unhappy. So I started seeing a psychologist in Denmark. It really made a difference. It really made a difference. I was the type of person who actually did that when I was in the US. I don't know why I didn't think I would need that when I moved here. I mean, that would have really made a big difference when I moved here. And I have talked to people in different times since moving here, but I don't know what it was. I just found someone that I really clicked with and who really helped me and who really just said, well, let's get you on medication. And in 2023, I started medication, and it's been a full year now on that medication. And I can't tell you how different I feel, how good everything is. Even when things aren't good, things are good. So in 2022, December, I went on to Instagram and I said, actually, I don't even know what I said, but I said that I was taking a break. And I had felt like, okay, I'm just going to take a break during the Christmas time because I'm getting really stressed. I had been really stressed and I was getting worse. And then January came around and I just continued to get stressed. And I mean, really rock bottom stressed, depressed, anxiety, all of it. And then, so I said, well, I'm going to extend my absence from social media. I mean, and as time went on, I really started focusing on myself and not so much doing everything for everyone else, not being the yes ma'am that I tended to be, wanting to make everybody's life special, especially my children. And, realizing that they're growing up and they're able to do things on their own and be their own people and don't need me as much. I mean, part of that was a little sad, but a part of it was a little liberating. It's the time for me to, be happy, just be happy and not be worried about anybody else. And so we took family trips and camping trips and little vacations. But you know what? I have so much really to tell you about. And I think I might start doing that more with some videos on here and tell you just what new things I experienced in 2023 and how it really started to change my perspective on Denmark. I mean, when I first moved here, I was really sad. I missed my family. I missed the US. I missed all my favorite foods and stores and everything that was just familiar, my friends and just things that we would do for entertainment and relaxing. I just didn't have that here. And I was so self-conscious when we moved here. But through this period of 2023 and the self-discovery, reading self-help books and doing more meditation and trying to get control over my emotions, and of course medication and seeing a psychologist, it really helped. And I got myself more on a plan of, I want the relationships that I have here to be meaningful relationships. And I need to make sure that I open up and let more people in. And it made a difference. I started to enjoy my job so much more. It wasn't hard getting up in the morning. It wasn't hard going into work. It was enjoyable. I had so many ideas and I didn't feel bad if I was staying at work a little bit later than normal because, my kids got other things that they want to do anyway, so I don't need to worry about them. I can do what kind of makes me happy. I bought myself a pair of roller skates, treating myself. And and I also got 2 cats. So I am now the proud cat mother of 2 European tabby cats. They are black and tan, striped, and their names are Ricky and Lucy. They're brother and sister, and they're very sweet. And I'm so glad for them every single day. And I've always wanted a pet, and I told myself, you're 45 years old. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it. And I just gave myself permission to do the things that I want to do and buy the things that I want to buy. And, it's nearly 8 years of living in Denmark, and there's so much I still don't know about Denmark because I didn't allow myself to go out and explore things that were good for me. I was always a little hesitant about going into these places by myself and doing things by myself. But, it's only held me back. And so the cats have really brought me a lot of joy. And I just, I have a new way of looking at things, a new way of saying to myself, I can choose to be happy. And I don't get bothered by things in Denmark like I used to. And I'm telling you, I really wish this self-discovery, this talk with a psychologist, this medication, all of it could have started right when we moved here. And then right now, after 8 years, I would be so much different than I am now. But, I don't have problems talking with people in Danish. I realize that my Danish isn't the best, but I don't feel bad about it. I ask people to repeat, or I, tell them that I don't understand, and I don't feel bad about it. And it's taken me a really long time to get to that point where I don't feel bad. And that's really made a difference. I need to be easier on myself. And I have been over the last so many months, and really 2023 was a very transitional period for me. I also lost my job in 2023. So it's not always been the good things. At the end of 2023, I actually was laid off from my job due to budget cuts. So my position was made redundant, is what they say, which was really kind of a low blow for me because I was really enjoying what I was doing. And, I was starting to kind of, have new relationships with the people that I was working with and getting closer with them. And it just felt kind of like a shame that I couldn't continue that. I decided to take December and just focus on getting ready for Christmas. We had our Christmas in Copenhagen with my brother-in-law and his family and my mother-in-law. And it was just wonderful. And yeah, I mean, January came around, and so I started looking for jobs. And now it's February and I'm still looking for jobs. So, but I'm not devastated. I know that the right thing will come along at the right time. And, I'm continuing to focus on me. I'm continuing to see all the good. I'm continuing to go out and talk with people and meet new people. And it's really been an interesting time. When you think everything is going great, and then all of a sudden you lose your job and you think, wait a minute, what? But I'm not letting that get me down, because I don't want to go back to where I was. Sometimes it's so easy to go back to those familiar pains than it is to go into the unknown of what could make you happy in the future. So how do I view Denmark now after 8 years? I really like Denmark. And in fact, I am now calling myself an American immigrant of Denmark instead of an American expat. I don't consider myself an expat anymore, because to me, an expat is someone who goes to another country for a few years, maybe just is very lackadaisical, about it, saying, oh, well, I'll try the pastries and I'll do this. And I don't know, I want to be someone who lives in Denmark. I want to be someone who speaks Danish, who works in Denmark, who talks to my neighbors. This is my home, and I consider myself an immigrant because I am a person who chose to move here, and I am a person who lives here on my own free choice, and I don't have any plans moving back to the US anytime soon. And I know for the longest time, really, for the past 8 years, I've been calling myself an expat because there's always been that chance that we would move back to the US. And I'm not saying that that door is completely closed, but I'm saying that we're finding more reasons for us to stay in Denmark than for us to leave. And in that way, I'm looking for jobs in Denmark. I'm not looking for jobs anywhere else. I still love living in a small town. I still love living in this house and remodeling and changing things and building cabinets. I did quite a few things last year. But it's different now because I feel that I want to be here. Before, I was just someone who came along to live in Denmark because her husband got a job here. I was an accompanying spouse, as they call it. Someone who just came along for the ride. But now I'm really digging my heels in and saying, this is where I want to be. I'm no longer an expat, I'm an immigrant. My children are Danish, my husband is Danish, and I need to work on being more present in Denmark and not focusing so much on where things are going to be going in the future and just thinking about right now. So there you go. I'm hoping to be putting out some more videos to talk about some of the things that you didn't get to see about my 2023 and show you a little bit more about my job and what I used to do. Some of the perks and different things that we got to do with my job. Little bit of life in Denmark. I always get people asking me stuff about Copenhagen. That's not a question for me. But if you want to know what it's like to have, walk 2 blocks and you're in the forest and you may get passed by someone on a horse, I could probably answer that for you. But thanks so much for coming along on this video and listening about my transition and being here from the beginning. My new Danish life started in 2019 and it is now 2024. And it's amazing with the breaks that I've taken to work on my mental health and to work on my family, that it's that I still have so many of you who are checking in and asking how I'm doing and messaging me on Facebook, you know who you are. Messaging me on Instagram, you know who you are. And it's just been so great to have your support. So thank you for that. And come back for another video. And as always, take care.